What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, we're creating our interpretation of the A-120 from ROBLOX doors. Let's begin this lesson by drawing the basic shape of the face. We're gonna start at the very top and draw two circles. So we'll start on the left, draw on the left eye. And I'm just gonna move over towards the right and draw that same size circle. Let's move down and draw a large smile. So starting back on the left, curve this down in the middle, and then back up on the right to create a happy face. Now we're going to transform this simple drawing into our interpretation of the A-120. Let's start by adding a large brow. Leave a gap in the center, start over on the left, just up above the left eye. We're going to go up, and then bend that out. Let's line this up on the right and do the same thing, going up and out. Now along the inside, we're just going to curl up the brow, coming in and then up. Let's add some fangs along the top edge of the mouth. We're going to start over on the left side. Let's add a large fang, going around and then in. Bend this out and then back down. Let's go over towards the right and do the same thing. Let's add a couple smaller fangs along the outside. Just curling these in. Add one more. Now we're going to add two smaller fangs along the inside. Now we're going to go back up to the top and draw the outside of the eye. From the top of the brow, we're going to step in, go all the way around like an oval, come down, and just bend that up towards the inside of the brow. Let's add a small black dot in the center of each eye for the pupils. And then we'll add some drips coming down from the eyes. Let's start from the outside. It's going to come around, bend that up, back down in behind the tooth. Let's go to the inside of the eye, add those drips coming all the way down towards the bottom. Let's do the same thing on the right. Come around, and work our way towards the outside. Let's add some drips underneath the mouth. Starting back on the left, add these curves coming all the way around. I'm just going to go a little bit lower in the middle, bring that all the way back up, and again, just work our way around towards the right side. Let's add a fold around the cheeks. From the left eye, we're going to step out, curve around the mouth, and then just bend that in. And then we'll line that up on the right, going out, and then in. Let's add a fold along the side of the head, on top of the cheek, then it's up and in. Now we're going to give our character a series of horns around the top of the head. From the left side of the head, we're going to step up, start with the first set. We're going to go out and then up towards the top. We'll line this up on the right side. Just bend that back down and then in towards the side of the head. Let's go up to the top and enhance the brow. Leaving a gap in the center, start over on the left, curve this up above the eyelid, and we'll bend that down toward the side. Let's add the second set of horns. Starting from the top of the brow, then around, back in towards the top. I'm just going to tuck this back around and then down in behind the front horns. Let's add a smaller set of horns along the inside. So step up, then it's up and in, down and in on top of the brow. And we'll close out the top of the head with a curve. Let's add a little bit of texture to the horns. Starting from the bottom left, curve this around and then in, move out. I'm just going to vary up the spacing in between these lines. Go to the right and do the same thing. Drawing a narrow gap in between, and go out a little bit further, and we'll do the same thing to the top horns. Now I'm going to switch to my brand new dual tip black Ohuhu marker to fill the inside of the eyes. I'm going to try out the brush tip first. Just using the side edge to get that nice fill on the inside. And this tip is good for getting in those tight corners. Now this marker also has a broad chisel tip to fill those large areas. Now let's move down and draw in some arms. I'm going to give this character 2 sets of arms, so let's start with the one on the top. From the left side of the head, we're going to step down, bend the arm out, and then down towards the elbow. Let's line this up on the right and do the same thing. From the elbow, we're going to bend the forearm, coming down and then in towards the wrist. Let's add in the thumb. From the wrist, bend this in and then down on the inside. I'm just going to add a sharp point along the thumb and bend that back out. I'm going to stretch this out towards the first finger. I'm going to go out, bend that down. And again, adding a sharp point, going up and back in. Let's layer 2 more claws on either side. Starting from this bend, we go out and then down, go up toward the top of the finger, and then bend that back in. Let's add one more. Go all the way up toward the top. I'm just going to bring this in towards the outside of the wrist. Let's go all the way up to the top and draw the outside of the arms. We're going to start from the side of the cheek. Let's start with a curve that goes out and then down to right about there. And we'll draw a small half circle for a socket for a horn. Do the same thing on the right. Now we're going to bend those horns going up and in. Bend that up, come down toward the outside of the socket. Now I want to continue this curve on the outside, coming down towards the elbow. And it'll bend the arm, coming down and then in towards the outside of the wrist. Let's separate the tip of each claw. Starting from the outside, just going to add a bend, going across the fingers, and do the same thing across the thumb. Let's add some more spikes along the outside of the arm. Start from the top, then it's up, and back down. Let's add another small one along the top of the elbow. Now let's draw the second set of arms along the inside. We'll start on the left, goes down, and then in towards the wrist. Let's line this up on the right. Come down, and then in. Let's add those same hands. Starting with the thumb, we come in, bend that down. Let's add a sharp point on the tip of the thumb going out. Now we're going to draw on the first finger. Going out, and down. We'll pull this out and back in towards the hand. Now we're going to add 2 more fingers on either side. Start from this curve, bend this in, go all the way around and in towards the hand. Let's add 1 more finger, coming in, go all the way around, and bend this in towards the wrist. Now from the top of the last finger, I'm going to bend the outside of the arm going up underneath. Go up in behind the thumb, go up and in underneath the front arm. Let's go back and separate the claws. Starting from the left, and just work our way across. Now I want to add a simple fur texture across the base of the arms. Starting from the outside, going up and then down. Now it's going to vary these sizes, working our way towards the inside of the arm. Let's do the same thing on the inside. Just working our way across. Now in between the arms, we're going to add a curve, going up and then down. Let's leave a gap in the center, go to the left side, bend the leg going out and down in behind the thumbs on both sides. Now let's continue that curve underneath the thumb, coming down towards the inside of the knee, right about there. Now from here we're going to bend the legs, coming in and then down towards the heels. Let's round out the bottom of the feet, start from the left heel, bend the foot, coming down and then up towards the first claw. And then from the left side, we draw the first claw going up, bend that down toward the tip, just taper that back in towards the bottom. Let's add a larger second claw. We'll start from the top, and go all the way up towards the top, and then bring that down toward the tip, and just tuck that in behind. Do the same thing on the right. Up, and then down, and then just tuck that in towards the side. I'm going to add that same size claw on the outside, going out, and then just tucking that back in. Let's go to the top of that second claw. I'm going to go up, bend that down. That's going to bend that in, aiming towards the heel. Let's do the same thing on the right. Going up, around the claw, come down and bend that in. And now from the top of this curve, we're going to bend the leg going up and in behind the hand. Going in behind the claws. Let's add that same separation along the base of the leg. Start from the outside and just working our way in. Now we're also going to give our character a tail. Let's start from the inside of the leg on the right side and come all the way down, bend that across in behind the left leg. Let's go to the outside of the foot, bend the tail going out, and then bend that up. Now taper the tail so it gets wider as you come back in and then up behind the leg. Let's go in with our ultra fine Sharpie pen and add some spots around the head and the arms. We'll start on the left. Just adding these ovals and just working our way around. Now we're going to add those same lines that we have on the horns across the tail and just working our way up. And now we're going to bring our drawing to life by adding some colors using our brand new dual tip Ohuhu markers. These markers come in a wide range of colors, including a colorless blender. Each marker comes with a brush tip for those fine details and adding thick and thin lines. And the other side comes with these wide chisel tips to fill in those large areas. Now if you want to learn more about these Ohuhu markers and also where to purchase them, I'll leave the links in the description below. we finish coloring this in, we'll be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's our interpretation of the A-120 from Roblox doors. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. And if you want to try out these amazing dual tip Ohuhu markers, I'll leave the links in the description below. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.